Welcome to Subramani. For many families, this is a time when they are considering, at least 3-4 people called me and spoke to me and said, we are considering a foreign education for our children, and what should be the good choice of college, and how much should be the fees that we incur. So I met one person, this is very shocking, who wanted to spend 50 lakhs, yes, you heard it right, 50 lakhs on sending his son to New Zealand to do some course, hoping that with that he will get his PR and things like stuff. Now, this is a person who is not connected to corporate India. He is connected to the film world and has no clue what 50 lakhs means. He has no ability to spend this kind of money. He just doesn't have it, and he wants to do this by selling off some property which belongs to maybe a joint property between him and his mother and his brothers, etc. Get his share and borrow the balance and then send his son abroad. What is the son doing? The son is currently doing engineering. Is it worthwhile? This actually brings me to another question, that Indian families do not talk about money at home. So children have no clue as to whether their parents can afford the kind of education that they are seeking. Secondly, children are under tremendous peer pressure to go abroad. It could be anywhere. I'm sure it could be Nepal, Bangladesh, anything. But you need to have a education which requires a passport. And the places of choice obviously are UK and US. And if you can't get into UK and US, then it could be the broader Europe. It could be Canada. It could be Australia. It could be New Zealand. Any place but God, give me a ticket out of this country, right? That kind of a need. I have no clue from where it has come. Which brings us to another question. Do parents even talk about children's education, the money required, and the kind of money that the parents have for sending their children abroad, for generally for their education? I mean, can your parents afford 25 lakhs fees if you get into IIM Ahmedabad? Can they afford 2.5 crores for you to go to an Ivy League school to do an MBA? These are the bigger questions, but even the smaller questions as to when should the child start earning, how will you... For decades we have moaned about not having enough financial literacy in the country, but like they say, charity begins at home. So why can't you sit with your children and teach them about money, right? If your children do not know whether you have enough money to pay 25 lakhs or 2.5 crores, there is something wrong with you. You have not taught them. You have to sit and say, look, all I have is 3 crores, which includes the value of this house and my retirement corpus and money for my old age, my any treatment that I may need, my parental needs and your needs, right? So children need to know that their claim comes as a part of the claim on that money for everybody. So you can't just say, oh, you have 5 crores, give me 2.5, or you have 3 crores, give me 2 crores, right? Make children understand what you're doing. And where does this start? It can start in the toddler years, right? Teaching them how different coins look, right? From a 5 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin, 1 rupee coin, whatever, 10, 20 also, now all that is available. As long as kids are, say, 3 year plus and you're sure that they will not gobble it up, you can start giving them playing games. You can take them to the market once they're slightly bigger, make them pay for the things that you're buying, right? So they know what is a 500 rupee note, what is a 200 rupee note. Here I am a little partial to cash because I want the children to touch and feel the money. They have to feel that something is going to get something, because the kid can't know the difference between a 700 rupee expense and a 7,000 rupee expense if it is swiped. And they think, oh, all the money is there in the card, so why should we do anything? Whereas when you see cash going out, the child counting the money, which means it's in 3rd standard, 4th standard, and he's or she is with you, that is a time when, as a parent, you get a chance to say, oh, this is what it costs, this is what bread costs, this is what a car costs, this is what groceries cost. This is why we are paying this person so much money to come and clean our house, or why we are paying so much money to drive our car. We are not capable of doing this, therefore we are hiring the services, therefore we are paying money. These are things which kids should know by the time they are in 7th standard, 8th standard, reasonably accurately about the approximate cost of things, like how much does a house cost, how much does a car cost, how much does grocery cost, how much does bread cost. There is no reason why they should not know these things. Then you bring in the cost of education, etc., and what they can get by right and what they can borrow. You also need to remember that when children borrow, it is your personal guarantee which allows them to borrow big amounts, especially if you borrowed money and you own. So how does one go about doing this? Apart from everything, you start telling children, use words like save, invest, earn, tell them how money gets into the ATM. It does not get into the ATM by itself. Some dad and mom have to work hard to put the money into the ATM, and then you can withdraw by a card. Why card payment is useful, why carrying cash is risky, therefore, but still when you go into a shopping mall, give them 100 rupees and ask them to live within a budget. I've tried this. I've given my daughter an X amount of money and said all your Diwali purchases have to be within this budget. There have to be some crackers and there has to be a dress, right? So you could spend whatever ratio you want, but both these things have to be present in your budget, right? So then they learn budgeting. I heard my daughter say to her friends that when you go by yourself, you don't go to Pizza by the Bay and Marine Drive, but you go to Stadium near Churchgate Station, and that's how you save money. That's great, because if I am taking her, I could take her to Pizza by the Bay, but she has no business going to Pizza by the Bay at her current level of income, right? So she better learn how to save money. The way I taught my daughter value of money is by taking her to a market in Mumbai called Crawford Market, where she found lot of bargains, right? So now she goes there with her friends. She knows how to shop in Kolaba, she knows how to shop in Bandra. She's learned it with friends. That's the way you teach value buying, and only when you teach value buying can you tomorrow talk about value investing. Sitting with your kids' dolls and say, look, all dolls have a price, but since you use this doll quite a bit, you have derived value out of it, right? So every share that you buy has a price, but have you derived value out of it? Has it given you good returns? Then it has derived value. Otherwise, it's been money wasted. And if you kept a losing share for 5 years, you've lost a lot of money. You've not just lost that money, you lost also the money that it could have earned, right? The power of compounding is visible even here. Teaching children all this, telling them what are the priorities, telling them why your retirement is a bigger priority than their education is something which you can start as early as in class 8, class 9, right? So then they don't have unreasonable expectations from you while they're preparing for college, or they start preparing and they start applying for scholarships. Many scholarships are available which we do not even know about. So go about teaching children about money, about their education, about priorities, and how the whole thing has to be done. It's your job. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Thank you.